when I was seeing some documents when my dad passed away, that the lady he got together after my mom passed away was forgered, and she kept my biological parents' house. And we tried to talk to a detective. They said, well, we can't find it because, to be honest, that's his wife. I'm like, yeah, but the house was both of my parents, my biological parents. And they told me that, well, there's nothing they can do about it. But there was a lot of ugly stuff that she did here in Texas. Then she moved to California. She's renting out my parents' house. And I talked to her. She says that, hey, you got 2 years to fight the house. And if you don't fight it, you're going to lose it.
Well, I would dare say that it's pretty obvious that you're in need of an attorney. I'm not sure how much in a brief introduction over the phone that John Jenkins can add, but...
So, I had this playing earlier. I got the volume down right now.
Because he knows you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Easy, bobblehead, easy. You're going to get whiplash. No company wants to be involved in an international dispute.
Anyway, I've been running it for a couple hours down here. Just make sure everything stays okay with it. Been working on the case a little bit. I did a quick buff on it with my buffer over there. And I went ahead and got the separator plate tacked back in there with some staples. I went ahead and didn't do anything with the back side. I painted the front side black because I didn't know if any of it was going to be visible through the plate. Some of it is, but not much of it. So I painted that black. The rest of it I think is pretty hidden. So I wasn't too worried about it. I just got through cutting the plastic. And I was telling you before, I was wondering if mine was thick enough, and it's basically the same stuff. That's the one that came out. And that's the one that's going to go back in, obviously. And it's got a film on each side that I'll peel off and make it crystal clear. As I'm putting it in there, I'll take that off. But I wanted to show you the the before and the after on that. So that's what we got there. But AirKing is coming together. I have another speaker over here that I have different plans for that are still with the AirKing. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so we got the new plastic film in there. So we're about ready to put the chassis in.
Smart today in advance of their Monday night showdown against the Cleveland Browns. Remember, it was just yesterday that Odell Beckham Jr. did an interview saying how Jets defensive coordinator Gregg Williams,
Morning, everybody. So we're going to finish this AirKing radio today. I wanted to show you these feet. These are the feet that I got for this to go on this radio. These are a work of art. These are not off-the-shelf parts. These are handmade parts. A gentleman by the name of Steve Davis makes these. Beautiful, turn on a lathe. Look at the detail on that. It's not square. He's got a radius on there. Beautiful. I've got these before from Steve. And this is what we're going to put on the AirKing today to finish it off. It's completely finished at this point other than the feet. And I don't know how much longer Steve's going to keep making these, but I need to get with him and buy about 4 or 5 sets from him just to make sure that I have enough to do my little radios in the future, because these are just gorgeous. You can't buy anything like this off the shelf. Hand turn with some love. Steve Davis. He also makes other radio parts like cabinets for the old radios. So anyway, I wanted to show you those because they're such a work of art. Those that go on the radio today. Alright, so we're going to put those beautiful feet that I was showing you earlier into the radio. Got a long nail on it. I pre-drilled the holes a little bit because I didn't want to split my wood. Actually, I think I pre-drilled my holes too big in diameter. Well, isn't that a bummer? So see, we all screw up. So what I'll do is I will put some glue on these and set them in the hole, and that'll work. That should work, I would think. Looks like the front ones I might not have went too far with those, but the back ones I went too far. Okay, let me grab some glue. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some glue now. I'll put some Gorilla Glue on here, and it should retain it. The nail actually has a spiral in it as well, so I think we'll be fine. I'll put this one right here. Give it a tap just for good measure. And we'll get another one. So you can see the spiral on the nail there. These are such nice feet. I gotta contact Steve and see how many more sets he's got left. I might have to just pick me up some sets so I have them here, because if he stops making them, which he very well may stop making them, then I won't have any for any of my future radios. And I still got the 54C that I'm working on for my daughter. And it'd be nice to have some of these for that, so I want to make sure that I can get maybe 3 or 4 sets sitting on the shelf, and then if he stops making them, I won't be completely without. So these are just gorgeous craftsmanship. Steve is known for his craftsmanship in his radio cabinets. He manufactures reproduction radio cabinets for when you get one, and the cabinet is so far beyond restoration, you can get one from him. And his prices are really reasonable considering, you know, what he's doing. So, all right, and there they are. The 4 feet in. Okay, so what are we looking at now? We're looking at the back of the AirKing 4000A. And for those of you who watched from the beginning of the short series on this AirKing, I wasn't doing videos at the time that I started the rebuild on it. So the chassis restoration really didn't get any recording on it. I do have before and after shots that I am going to add at the end of this particular video, since this is the last video. That'll give you guys an idea. I don't think I have any of the cabinet other than what's on that cabinet restoration portion. But what I had said was I had got this last year off of eBay, and it was a total mess, total wreck. And I'd got it with the intention of restoring it for my nephew Kenny at What Kenny Do. And I had mentioned that I had something special in mind for it. So what I've done is I restored the radio and the cabinet, and it plays, and it does a pretty good job actually for what it was. But in this modern day and age, and the young people today, they're all into their computers and streaming music and Bluetooth and all that. So what I did was I made this like it was when it was old, and it's AM ability, but I also made it so that it's Bluetooth capable, where they can stream music to it from their phones, whatever else they can want to stream from. So what I did was I got this 50-watt amplifier board, and I had an old, what was it? Some sort of an old radio phonograph piece that had a couple of speakers on it, in it. They had this grill cloth in it, and I thought this grill cloth actually accented this radio pretty good. Now granted, this is going to be to the wall, right? So it's not like it's going to be seen, but I still want things to look nice. So anyway, the Bluetooth device is not integrated into the radio itself. I didn't want to go through the hassle of trying to tie into the speaker, and the speaker really is not, that great. It's 1940 technology. So what I did was I just kept it separate, but it's in the same cabinet, and basically you can Bluetooth to the amplifier. It'll output to the speaker. Basically, when you've got the radio sitting there, it appears that it's coming from the radio. It is coming from the radio, just not coming through the radio original circuitry. So I basically gave Kenny the best of both worlds, the antique, which is restored, and he can turn it on and listen to AM, or he can Bluetooth to it with his modern day music and have it come out that way as well. So it's dual function. It basically allows him to have the best of both worlds. So that's kind of what we got going on here. So that's kind of where we're at, folks, with this one. And so I consider this done at this point. I'll have a shot or two here at the end of it, sitting here on the counter on my workbench without the blue under it, and then it'll be followed up with some of the original chassis photos of the way it was when I first got it and took it out of the cabinet, and then some of the restoration along the way. One of the things I did do is it had an electrolytic that was under the chassis, and I did take that apart and I restuffed inside of that to try and keep some of the originality. Although the resistors, I didn't worry about those. I just put modern day resistors in it. And so the electrolytic, which was a paper style housing, I had poured epoxy and set the end in it and drilled a hole, so I had an exit point for my wires to come out. So, I took a little bit of pain with it at that point. But it's done now, and hopefully my nephew Kenny enjoys it and uses it for years to come, even after I'm gone. So that's what we have.
We're in pro ball by this time. The Angels' Kurt McCaskill was pitching, and he gave a back-to-back home run.